Hello. And so, look, I just did a whole live on this very topic and could not save it. So I have to redo it. Don't you hate that? So today I'm coming to you and I want to talk to you about just answer some common questions about trademarks. I've had several clients come recently who just had questions around trademarks, just common questions that I've been receiving that I want to take the time to answer now so that you are informed when it comes to these questions. And so you may have some just common questions. You can drop it in the comments and hopefully I'll get the notifications to come back and answer. And so first, let me introduce myself before I start sharing what are some the answers to common questions that you may have around trademarks. I am Chayla Jackson. I am a trademark and business attorney, and I'm the CEO and founder of my law firm, Legacy Legal and Consulting Firm. Legacy Legal is a virtual law firm for purpose-driven CEOs on the go. And here at Legacy, we help you protect your brand, build a legacy, and secure your wealth. The reality is that we wear multiple hats as a CEO. And so as purpose-driven CEOs, we are focused on building sustainable, scalable, and profitable businesses with the goal of generational wealth. A legacy of generational wealth is what we want to leave behind. And so as you are on the go, you need access to counsel on the go. And so here at Legacy Legal, we provide trusted and valuable counsel on the go because look, you need the same kind of access and value being provided to Fortune 500 companies while you are growing and scaling your business. Now, when it comes to, look, what we do, look, our clients, legacy clients, they know we don't nickel and dime our clients. You know exactly what you're going to pay before you invest. And so we are a flat fee law firm, which is different than hourly billing. So I want to put that out there. So that's a little bit about Legacy Legal and Consulting Firm. And we are big on education. So I want to come in and I want to share with you some common questions and the answers to them around trademarks. Now, for those of you who are like, I want to learn a little bit more about trademarks, in May, and you may see it coming throughout the year, we have a webinar, free webinar you can sign up for called Beyond TM, Protecting Your Brand with Trademarks. And you can register for that on our website under the resources tab, legacylegalconsult.com. That's on our resources tab at legacylegalconsult.com. Or you can go to legacylegalconsult.com/products. All right, so let's jump in. All right, I did the whole introduction and everything. Let's jump in. Some common questions around trademarks, and let me answer them. So first and foremost, one of the common questions is, one, do I even need a trademark? Do I need to have a federally registered trademark? And the answer is it really depends. And so understand that one of the biggest myths that there is out there is that if you don't register your trademark, you don't have a trademark. That is not the case. The truth is that before you can even get a federally registered trademark, you either have a trademark or you don't. So a trademark is created not by registration. A trademark is created by meeting the requirements in order for a mark, a brand, to function and be protected under trademark law. And so one of the things, another misconception, and it is unfortunately, and is one of the areas where people lose their trademark rights before they even realize it, is that ideas are not protected. So if you are not using your brand in business, you're not selling, you're not marketing, you're not in business using that brand that you want to protect under trademark law, you have an idea. You don't have a trademark, you have an idea, which means there is no trademark protection. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because for many of you, you want to protect your idea, you want to protect your brand before you use it. And this is why trademark registration actually is powerful and helpful, because when you're not ready to launch yet, but you want protection, then a federally registered trademark is what will help you do that, because you can file in advance, but you have to use that mark in business and use it consistently in order for trademark protection to apply. Okay, so that's one of the common questions that are asked around trademarks is, do I even need a federally registered trademark? And so if you don't have a federal registered trademark, because remember, trademarks are not created by registration, they're created when you meet the legal requirements, which means you have to be using it. That means that you can have what's called a common law trademark. All that means is that you have a trademark that's common under trademark law. So you didn't register it, but you still have a trademark. But the scope of your protection, the scope of your rights are limited to where you use the mark. So if you're trying to figure out, do you need a federally registered trademark? Well, a federal registered trademark gives you protection in all of the United States. If you want to be limited in your protection, then you don't have to file, but just understand that your protection is limited to the states where you are actually registered. Another common trademark question is, how much is it? How much does it cost? Well, one, understand that trademarks, there are 45 classes of goods and services. So how I teach trademarks is this, is that the classes and services, there are 45 aisles in the grocery store trademarks, okay? Many of us have been to the grocery store. We go with the bread aisle, you need milk, you go to the dairy aisle, you need toilet paper, Tide, you go to the toiletry aisle. You know, if we want some good, some tortillas, we go to the Mexican aisle. We want some kosher, we go to the kosher aisle, right? There are different aisles in the grocery store. There are 45 aisles or classes of goods and services in the grocery store of trademarks. And so there is no such thing as exclusive trademark rights in every aisle or every class, meaning every industry. So if you have a registration for your coaching business, or your trademark, you want to trademark for your coaching business, well, you can't stop somebody that's in the medical device business that's not offering coaching services from using a similar or the same mark. Why? Because there's no confusion. They are in different aisles. We're not going to be confused. So you have to understand that. So when we come to how much does it cost? Well, it depends on, one, how are you using the mark? So you can only have protection where you're actually using it. So if you have, if you want to start a clothing line with the same brand that you're using for your coaching business or your entertainment business, well, there are two different aisles, two different classes. But say, for instance, you haven't launched the clothing aisle. Well, you will only have trademark rights when you're using it. So you would have to apply for the right to use in those, not apply for the right to use, excuse me, but you have to apply for the trademark rights in two different classes, two different aisles. So depending on where you want your protection depends on how many classes you have to register for protection. So the price or the investment to register your trademark with the USPTO, the application fee, is $350 per application, per mark, per class. So you have, every class you add is an additional $350. Okay, so the more classes, the more the price goes up. Now, another common question is, well, how much does it cost to have an attorney do this? Don't look for those of you who are like, oh, it's expensive. I want you to think about how expensive it is to try to do this on your own when you don't understand the law. Okay, there have been too many business owners that I have encountered that they were on the road to getting trademark registration, but because they didn't understand the office action, which is an official letter saying we flag some issues with your trademark application, you need to respond. And because they didn't understand that, they missed the deadlines, because you have to meet the deadlines or you can lose your application and start all over. They forfeited it, and now they have to pay again. And so you could end up paying more money by not hiring an attorney, trying to do it yourself. So how much is with an attorney, working with an attorney? Well, it depends on the package they offer, and it depends on the firm. So every attorney and firm is different, and so it can range anywhere from $1,500, and sometimes those packages don't include responses to office actions. So be mindful of when they're charging $500 per office action, because that means that price will go up. And it can range from $1,500 on that end to more than $2,500, $3,000, depending on what's included. Okay, and typically that's for one application, one mark, in one class. Now, if you're wondering what my trademark package is $2,500 for one mark and one class. So that's the range of what you can think about investing with an attorney. But before you sticker shock, schedule the call, because you don't know how they actually bill that out, and it can actually be affordable when they put you on a payment plan. Okay. All right, so other common questions when it comes to trademarks is how long is the process? Well, it really depends. So conservative answer, general answer, the process can be anywhere from 12 months to 18 months or greater. But remember that there is a process. So if you get what's called an office action, which is an official letter from the USPTO saying there's an issue with your application that you need to respond to, well, there is a 3-month response window. So that can extend the time out. If for whatever reason somebody opposes your application, so you make it through, you're almost at the finish line, but someone says, you know what? I think that your trademark would infringe on my trademark rights. They can oppose you. I want you to think about one of my favorite shows is A Different World, and my favorite episode is when Dwayne showed up at the wedding, and he showed up for his Whitney. We know at weddings, objection, I object to this union. That's essentially like the opposition. Somebody is saying, I object to you being able to get your trademark registration. And so when they do that, one, it extends the time, and now you have to battle it out. And so that can extend the time. So the timeline, right? I gave you the general timeline, but it really just depends on your unique situation and your journey, right? Your journey is not the same as someone else's journey. Some people have been waiting years to get their trademark registration, because trademark registration is not just submitting a piece of paper and application. It also requires strategy, legal strategy, to make sure you actually get to the end road. But we can't guarantee those results, y'all. Okay? We can't guarantee. But strategy as well. All right. Another common question when it comes to trademarks is, what happens if I miss a deadline? So you try to do it yourself and you miss a deadline. Well, if you miss a deadline, sometimes you have a limited window of time to revive your application. But if you miss that grace period, then guess what? You got to start all over, which means that everything that you paid, that $350 for that one application in one class, you're going to have to pay that again. The government do not refund their fees. They want their money. Okay. Now, another common question that comes with trademarks is, once I get the trademark registration, is that it? The answer to that is absolutely not. So trademarks are not just you file and you're good to go. You have to continually manage and monitor your application as well as your trademark rights. So once you get the trademark registration, what happens is, one, you have to consistently keep using that mark as you registered. And two, in between year 5 or 6, you're going to have to file another application with the USPTO, letting them know I'm still using the mark. Then between year 9 and 10, after you get your trademark registration, you're going to have to file again to let them know I'm still using my mark. That's in the first 10 years after you get your trademark registration. You don't want to miss this window. If you miss the window, you can lose your trademark registration. Now, that's not the same as losing your trademark rights. It just means that your trademark application can actually be abandoned, and then you got to start the whole process over again if you miss the grace period. We're not trying to waste money in this process, y'all. Okay, so the first 10 years, there are 2 filings that you have to do. Now, if you're still using your trademark after 10 years, then it's every 10 years you're going to have to do this filing. So every 10 years after the first 10 years is when you do this filing. So think about businesses like Nike. Think about businesses like Apple, right? They have been in the business for a long time. Their trademarks have been around for decades. Every 10 years, every 10 years is when they're filing their renewal and maintenance document saying we still are operating this trademark to keep their rights. Because remember, federal registration gives you protection in all U.S. states and territories. But when you don't have a federal trademark, then you only have protection where you actually use the mark under common law trademarks. So that's a little bit of common questions that people have about trademarks. For those of you just tuning in live, you can watch the beginning of this, the replay. For those of you who are like, you know what, I need to learn this. I have some questions. I'm not sure about this. You want to learn, because not everything in your business, Not every part of your brand is a trademark. It's not eligible for trademark protection, okay? So for some of you, you're branding, but because you don't understand trademarks, you're actually creating brands that will never be protected as a trademark. By the time you get to a trademark attorney, you either have a brand or you either have a trademark or you don't. You either have a trademark that is eligible for trademark protection or you don't. And so what that means is you have to understand, how do you build a brand from the beginning that even if you don't register right away, that is eligible for trademark protection. And so I have a free webinar that I'm doing this month called Beyond TM, and Beyond TM, protecting your brand with trademarks. And so we're going to talk about the process. We're going to answer your questions, and we're going to go through how do you actually create, I'm going to reveal to you how to create marks that are actually eligible for trademark protection. And so you can sign up, get in the room for that class by going to legacylegalconsult.com. The link will also be in the description, and go to our resources tab and you can sign up. And for those of you who are like, you know what, I need a trademark attorney, I'm ready to take this next step. Legacy Legal, we do trademarks. And so you can trademark with Legacy Legal. And all you have to do is go to our website, legacylegalconsult.com, and you can book a free discovery call. And we're going to talk about your mark. We're going to talk about that. And then our first step is our trademark consultation. So you don't just jump into getting a trademark with us. We start with a consultation, because again, I don't believe in wasting money. So if you don't even have a trademark, I'm not going to have you spend thousands of dollars and risk losing your money and wasting time when you don't even have a mark, a brand that can be protected. So we want to start there first, right? Let's use wisdom. Let's lose strategy. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you found this helpful, if you have questions, drop them in the comments. Hopefully I get the notifications to come back, or I'll do another video to answer them. Make sure you sign up for the Beyond TM, protecting your brand with trademarks webinar. Or if you are you want to sign up for that and you're ready to take the step in the journey to protect your brand with actual trademarks, you can trademark with Legacy. All of that can be done through our website at legacylegalconsult.com. Schedule a discovery call to start the trademark process. If you want to sign up for our webinars or look at our educational resources, go to our resource tab. All right. Again, my name is Chayla Jackson. I'm a trademark and business attorney, and I'm the CEO and founder of my law firm, Legacy Legal and Consulting Firm, a virtual law firm for purpose-driven CEOs on the go, where we help you protect your brand, build a legacy, and secure your wealth.